Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Herbert running left off the option. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And this, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The Chargers have 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of start.
And this is caught. A big play there for L.A. And even 40 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Herbert jet sweep as he taps it forward. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Mike Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Open man Hamler, that's complete. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Mayfield. This one swung out to Williams. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield, instead checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. This is Coleman with the ground. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. Over the middle, complete. That's Coleman. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And yep, indeed, the flag is out. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. From the gun, Mayfield. And this one is incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a little concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He'll get this to Hamler over the middle. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
The kick by McManus is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. All right, rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Interception, Mayfield. That's caught. It's Coleman. And he is going to lose yardage here. Second down, Williams. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Mayfield now. And he's got his big tight end here. Touchdown! A 24-yard touchdown. As his guys have now moved out in front. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Not only they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Up the middle with Eckler. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They never went crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold it to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily. I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Williams. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for. Defense able to get there, swung to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the 1st half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on second down. Herbert. And the Broncos get there and take him down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. Here's Herbert. Finding Williams once more, complete. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Again, Herbert. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Chargers are once again back in front. Extra point by Bass. Up and good. And the lead is now 14 to 10. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
A first down throw for Mayfield. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
He's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought thought he had a mismatch. But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
.44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Charger drive about to get going. And we'll see how this is played. Offensive. And nothing but green grass here. Middle of the field. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown.
Mike Williams
With his second touchdown here in this first half.
and the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes it a 21-10 game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Mayfield on first down.
He's got the connection downfield to Hamler.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And that's off the left upright, but it caroms right in. How about that? The kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner. Except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
The Charger drive about to get going. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They start the second half here with Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Again, it's Williams. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Mayfield to throw it.
Finding Williams on the check down.
And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can click and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Fourth down, Mayfield. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. That one good for 37 yards.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Oh, this is blocked. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through and was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that fourth down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so. But maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Third quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. The 30. 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Now McManus for the extra point. Cut the lead down now to a touchdown.
Makes the score. Chargers 27, Broncos 20.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The Charger drive about to get going. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A Charger first. There as Herbert finds Williams. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 44, Herbert. He's got Allen. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And a quick throw here that's complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Broncos 47-yard line.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To
To throw again on second down. Herbert. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Herbert back to the air. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. Steps away to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Now it's Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Broncos are right back in this football game. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 67 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there, pick up the first down.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Play fake. Mayfield. They're rolling. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Third and long for Mayfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear of risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them the completion.
That's pulled in at the 32. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
He'll get this to Eckler. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Eckler now between the tackles. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw in that play with a loss. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe. And now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way
up through. And they closed him out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Chargers, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year.